Greetings. This is Skyler Saunders seeing what's current. Today is Sunday. It's also Grandparents' Day. For all you grandparents out there, salute to you. You take care of the badass kids or the good ones. So they're really all good. They just act bad sometimes. That could be true. Now, what I want to get into is something that has been on my mind for the past few months, actually. And I know that you probably are getting ready for church, you're in church, and you're listening on the low to this broadcast, and or you're just left from church. I just have a I would say a sermon, but it's a Sunday update. Um, I want to update you on some analytics that I have for the show. Um, I recently crossed the 20,000 view mark. Now, that is a paltry sum for most YouTubers. That is like what you get on one video, if that, probably more. But for me, that means something to me. That means that I put in the work. That means I totally revolutionized the way I view YouTube, and I have reaped the benefits from having done that. And I have to thank me, myself, and I. But I also have to thank Mr. Star Terrain, who just said, "Hey, why don't you get on? Show your face. Let them hear your voice." And I was just reluctant. I'm always a little bit reluctant to do things because I'm not sure how they're going to end up. Because I had a recent event where the microphone was all jacked up and everything was all disarray, and I'm like, okay, now that's a lesson. I have to make sure everything is in complete control and everything is in complete array for me to do anything. Like everything is in array for me to do this show right now. I got the lighting, I got the head, I got the ear, I got the phone, the microphone. All I need to do is just run my mouth. But 20,000 since April 15th. Well, really 18,000. I had 2,000 views prior, but that was in for nearly 20 years. It was about 17 years. 2006. 17 years. And I had 2,000 views plus. Now, within those years, I wasn't, really fooling with YouTube. I was like, man, I'm getting my writing back to flow. There's nobody watching. But because of Mr. Terrain's platform, I hitched my wagon to this wild and crazy show that's actually pretty, tame compared to others because he's not, out all over the place all the time. Most of the time, he's very direct and strong on the mic, and I appreciate that about him. And I appreciate him for allowing me to be able to be hitched on to his. So I appreciate it. Anyway, so I have more analytics, not just the number of followers. Right now, I have 263 followers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so I can get the Cash App rating. I don't necessarily want the Cash App because I have to get at least 250. Well, now I have over a quarter of what I want for the ability to have watch hours. That's the thing. It's not even the amount of views you get, it's the amount of watch hours that are really tabulated, really calculated. You have to have the idea of having the amount of views and have it all that reflect your whole video idea. It has to reflect everything that you stand for, everything that you mean. And I think there's a lot of people in church right now because it's still at zero. And there's nobody in the live chat. So people are, praising the Lord and hallelujah and thank you, Jesus. And they're doing a lot of that. So that's fine. I have the rebroadcast. Um yeah, so I mean, I have people in the UK, I have people in New Zealand, I have people in Australia, Canada, listening and viewing the show. Not many, maybe 10, 20, and four, something like that. And then my female viewers is decent for what I do. I'm not addressing females. I'm not showing you any hair or makeup tutorials or anything like that. That would probably get me a million views every few months. But I'm not that way. I gotta have integrity, and I just appreciate everybody who's watching this right now. If you are, because YouTube, it plays around. They show you zero, but there's always one person that says, "Hey, I'm here," and that may not be the case today, but that happens sometimes. But I just had to give this update because I'm very proud of myself, for making that decision way back on tax day. That's how I always remember. This show was created on April 15th, 2023. And so I want to just keep the flame lit. I want to keep it, going, keep it flowing, have enough fuel left in the tank, and so I can have years of this, just like Mr. Troy Star Terrain has. He has over 2 decades of experience within the radio realm and the realm of media and you know collection of various genres and everything that he had to handle when he was in Warner Electric Atlanta and other other different companies that he handled, the different artists, Swing Out Sister, Rat, all kinds of people, and he was accredited for being in this fashion of alternative R&B, otherwise known as rap and hip hop. That was funny. That was funny when he addressed that in his book, which I'm rereading. But I go off. I've been getting donations. I mean, donations, donations, donations. I've been very fortunate to get one donation. I don't. One person gave me this, but I've been getting dozens of since I started this. I've been getting dozens of donations. Sometimes $5, all the way up to $20, $25, $45. So I'm very fortunate for the people that have been able to extend their money for this show. I want to get this thing popping. I want to get a microphone. I want to get headphones. I want to get, this thing to be, completely professional. I want to get the proper lighting. I know I don't have the proper lighting. I have two different types of lighting on me right now. So I'm aware of that. I'm aware that it's a difference. I know that, I just have the plain white shirt with the black tie, the black hat. We'll see what happens when I cross over to 1 million, or maybe even just 100,000, or when I get to the point where I get to 1,000 subscribers, and then a, 1,000 hours watched. The alternative to that would be 10 million views for the shorts. Shorts have to be 10 million views. I'm not gonna get there. I tried the shorts. It was cool. It's fun. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I have some that have 2, 3 views, and one that has 1,000. I don't know how that works. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I said. I don't know how the algorithm favored one video over another. And look, I have one person in the room. Who is it? Is it Richard James? Uh, is it Courtney? I haven't seen Courtney in so long. She's busy. She's a busy little bee. She must be focused on her house. She was talking about that. But yeah, I have a little sector of patrons, people that support me. I appreciate that tremendously. It is something that I love to confess. I love to confess this thing because it's so true. If you build it, it said in the movie, he will come. Pause. But if you build it, they will come. You just got to okay. It's Greg S. All right, Greg S is broke. That's just. I know. I said pause. But Greg S is broke. Never donated. Let's put that out there. But he is a supporter nonetheless. He's a good dude. Salute to him. I didn't even put the goal to that. Damn. Uh, yeah, Cash App did go down. Yeah, I noticed that. I did notice that. But I need your Cash App now today on Sunday. If you want to do the Lord's work, if you want to be accepted into heaven, you got to pay tithes and offerings. Faith without works is dead. So, Greg, a freeloader, I appreciate you, but you're riding on other people's donations. You're in the live chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But you're a free rider. That's all you. That's all you are in my eyes right now. You have your little digs in. Even you go on Mr. Troy Torian's platform and you troll on there. But just respect today's goal. If you can do $5, $10, $20, that would be even greater. That would be much appreciated. All right, back to me and my business, my creation, my mind, because this all stems from up here. Your thoughts, your ideas. That's what it all relies upon, or rests upon. Your ability to think, your ability to reason. And I may not have 250,000 subscribers. I may not have 10 million or 12 million subscribers, but I'm doing something for me, what it means to me. And the fact that even Cash App has a different take on things. They say, hey, that's your personal account. That's not business account. We're not going to ask you about it. We're not going to tax you on it. We're not going to say anything on it. So I'm just trying to get to the point where I can get to the super chats and talk about super chat. Just think about Cash App. That's what I want to get to. I want to get to that point because Cash App doesn't do anything with taxes. I don't deal with. I have not paid a income tax, since 2016. Why? Because I'm a disabled veteran who gets tax-free money. This is not snitching on myself. This is common knowledge. You can look this up online. I get disability 100%, which is about $3,600. I get Social Security, which is about $939. That's tax-free. And I live in a state that's tax-free, for all those benefits. Some states like Missouri tax you for getting your benefits. That's crazy to me. I'll put $89. God. I'm rewriting today's goal. You rich? Let me hold some. Yeah, I'm broke. I'm broke because all that goes to different uh, companies and different expenses. All that goes out the window. I'm not rich. I'm broke. That's why I'm asking for money on the internet and putting in this work, putting in these different hours, to give it a sense that I'm doing what I can do. Greg says you got child support. Don't lie. You paying 3 baby mamas. No, I'm not spreading seed around like that. I've never ejaculated into the vagina. I've never done anything like that. It was all in her mouth. To be very graphic and explicit on a Sunday morning. If you would allow me to be. But no, I don't have any kids. Don't have any ex-wives, wives. I don't have any ex-wives. I don't have any girlfriends or anything really in the romantic department besides my hand. And we're very common. We're well known together. Oh, I'm talking about all this on a Sunday. Who's to hear this on a Sunday? They want to hear about the Lord. They want to hear about the scriptures, the word. I'm not the one. I just ask questions. Like I said earlier in the week, would you or could you walk with Jesus? Could you walk with Jesus? Do you have the credentials? Do you have the propriety, the background, the bona fides to walk with Jesus? Just ask it. But back to the money I've been making, the cash apps. It's glorious. I'm trying to get to the point where I can get to $100, $200 cash apps, $500,000 cash apps. People have been giving me their change, and I give that all praise because they're giving me something. They're saying, you know what, I don't have all that money right now, but I'm gonna give you a little something, something to let you know that I appreciate what you do, and that's why I think it's so great, and that's what I think Greg S should be able to be doing. I'm messing with Greg S. But yeah, so it's a journey. It's part of my journey, and I'm just gonna do it till I die. This is the best part. This isn't like working a job where 35 years of putting in work and now I'm retired. No, this is like 85 years or whatever, 65 years, 70 or 55 years. I mean, putting in this work. I'm gonna do this till I die, write and create content on YouTube or other platforms, whatever it is of the day. I'm excited about it. I get excited, thinking about, how am I going to do this? How am I going to phrase this? How am I going to put this in the show? How am I going to be able to maneuver through all this time that I have? What am I going to say? Water break. That's nice. So it just strikes me as something that is very vital and very important to my journey to be able to do this, to be able to make money online. Like I said, I had, the first time that I got paid for something that I did was not because I worked a 9 to 5. I was working a 9 to 5, but I didn't get my check yet. I didn't know how much I would get. It was more than what it was, you know, um, in terms of the first time I got money was on the internet, but it was still exciting. It was amazing. I made $10 in a day, and I thought that was the most money in the world. I was 18 years old, and I just looked at it as like, wow, this is something that I can do. This is possible. Nobody was holding my hand back then. I had to search for it. YouTube was very, very young. This site called Rever.com. I spoke about this before. It allowed you to create videos and get paid for them. It bins every time somebody clicked on an ad that was associated to your video, boom, money right into your account. It was beautiful. And then they went under, but YouTube surged well past, it got bought by Google and it just exploded and just went, viral, as we say. You know, it just got to a point where it didn't even have any rivals really. I mean, major rivals. TikTok is technically a rival. I mean, but it's not for full length. So if you want full length videos, you have to go to, Vimeo and some other properties, but definitely for definitely for YouTube. YouTube is the reigning king of all time for video and video content. It can't. It's undisputed. It's not. It's nobody's even touching. Nobody's even coming close to YouTube. Not even close anything. They make tens of billions of dollars a year. Tens of billions. Imagine that. Because it's an offshoot. It was bought by Google. It's a property. It's a property that is worth more because it allows more. It allows advertising. It allows for people to opt in and be premium members. It's a freemium service, and it's just amazing. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. Somebody just popped in the live chat. Show yourself. Who are you? Is it still Greg S? Greg S, you broke son of a bitch. I'm messing with you, man. It's Sunday. I'm calling people son of a bitch. Oh my god. No, I just I just like it. It's fun. I woke up yesterday. Woke up early. Went down here to the Cowboys room, set up shop. We all can't be brothers. That's true, Greg. It's true. But I just woke up and said, "Let me get on here. Let me get on this computer." Bam. What I get? $10 donation. Lil Zeb. I don't even know who Lil Zeb is. They gotta claim themselves. But Lil Zeb just hit me with $10. I'm like, if I didn't get up early in the morning, if I didn't set up this computer, if I didn't set up this phone, if I didn't set up this mouse, I wouldn't have got $10. But I got $10. That's capitalism. That's capitalism to the fullest degree. Not just mercantilism, but this is the markets, the facet of capitalism. This is how markets work, trading value for value under the umbrella of capitalist ideas. And I'm very fortunate, very appreciative of it. I take my time and I live out my ideals completely, and I live with it. I don't have any issues with it. I don't have any problems with it. I enjoy it. I like this. This isn't a burden to me. This isn't something. Oh, I gotta do this again. I don't really feel like it. Oh, what? I feel like making money. That's what I feel like doing. Cause I have plans. I have ideas that people that I keep seeing people. I see billionaires. I'm like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Well, I'm looking at you, and I look in the mirror and say, why don't you do this? I'm not on that billionaire level, but if I were, I would be doing certain things that would blow people's minds away. Like for instance, I'm just let it out right now. I want to get schools. I want to privatize schools. Government schools. I want to privatize them, and I want to make money from them. I want to privatize hospitals completely. Get government completely out of hospitals and healthcare. Completely out of education and healthcare. Those are the two most important pillars of society, of a civilized nation. Education and healthcare. Your mind and your body in mind. Most important. It's the reason why we have so many people that are, overweight and obese is because, of lack of education and lack of healthcare. Or proper dieting and exercise and everything that goes into that. It's a sad shame, but that's the reality of it, especially in America. That's just true. I want to do that. But can I do that? No. I don't have the power to do that. I want to be a billionaire or a trillionaire. I want to be a trillionaire, really. I want trillions of dollars. I want to be a quadrillionaire. I don't know. As much money as possible to change these things. That's the thing that change. It's all about the money. That's what they said. That's the rappers say. It's all about the mother money. Troy Ave. It's all about the mother money. It's all about the money. Everything. Nothing you can think of. Nothing. Zero. 100%. I challenge you. Think of something and it doesn't require money. Did you hear what I just said, Greg S? I want healthcare and education. That's what I want to do. That's the good for me selfishly. I'm doing that good. Not to just propagate, the idea of, oh, he wants to do education and health and help the people. And no, I want to help myself first and only. I could be doing that now, but I can't do it all the way, Greg S. I can't do that right now. And you got away with a free space for bingo for doing a question without any dollars tied to it. But I'll say this: if you aren't doing it now, I doubt you'll. Well, what do I do? What? Tell me what I do now, Greg S. What am I supposed to do now? Let me know. And why aren't you doing it? You're pointing the finger at me. You got four fingers pointing right back at you, or at least three. Or thumb is in. Yeah, yeah, three fingers, whatever. But you know what I mean. I'm not worried about what I'm doing right now. I'm worried about getting to the future, getting to that point where I'm able to say I'm a quadrillionaire. You know, that would be amazing. That would be astonishing. That would leave me whole. How do you know I'm not using my 10% for right now? And what 10% for what? For whom? Greg asked. I ask you. I have gotten these donations and I'm very happy with them. Oh, Greg S says because I know. Okay, so he just waved his white flag. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm Negro Diamonds. Okay, so here he goes the trolling. I thought he was going to be pretty serious, but he let me down again. I'm Negro Diamonds. Okay, okay, but in all, I'm just ecstatic at the fact that I have made 20,000 views. They don't really mean anything. Like I said, the analytics, the timing, it gives you YouTube. I have to give them respect because I thought they were going to give me a hard time, or it's free to have a studio account, and you're able to look at the times where the people come in the most. You're able to look at the demographics. You're able to look at the timing of the videos and your highest performers. It's very well detailed and exact and calculated, and it's very it, it carries on the idea of how well YouTube has progressed from 2006, 17 years ago. And that's what is so important, I think, right now. And what is needed, what is necessary, what is capable, what is supposed to happen, I think, it happens like that. It creates a sense that there's something that is possible in the world, that is known. The Known World by Edward P. Jones. Read it. That was a throwaway. But in all, everything, said and done. Say, quote, I gotta stop saying, I'm sounding like the late great Syphil the Pimp. That's what he used to say. I'm not even conscious of it. No. But I appreciate the fact that I'm able to achieve this lofty goal in such a short period amount of time. That's what. Okay, so S- September to from April to September is 5 months. 5 months divided by 20,000, about 4,000 views a month. So I'm very appreciative of that. All right, here's the part where I know it's gonna get zero people involved. I know for a fact that zero people will now tune in. Ruler of the kingdom of the air has to be talked about. If nobody else is talking about it, I'm gonna talk about it. That's the part of selfishness that I love. It's like nobody want to say anything. I'll say something to it. I'll talk about it. I want to talk about the names. Again, um, I want to talk about how they relate to Bible stories, because I want to use the mythology of Christianity, the Christian mythology. People bristle and rankle at that idea of Christianity being mythology. Oh, that's real. That's true. That's he called Lazarus from the dead, and he changed water into wine, and he got off the cross and resurrected, and all that. They really believe that's true, like that's reality. Not really, not so much. We have a little thing called science. We have a little thing called evidence, and we need all of that to explain what's reality. And we have things called philosophy. We have things called reason that take care of all that. That's the best part. Yes, complete blasphemy, Greg ass. Yes, I'm a blasphemer. I said in a post a few days ago that Jesus was a weakling and a wimp. I meant to say, I said the wrong word. I said virulent instead of virile, or I think it's virile. Muhammad. Muhammad was virile. He was strong. He was powerful. He had children. He bore seeds. He was more of a man than Jesus. And I'm not trying to say that Islam is a better or more uh, uh, non-mystical ideology. Of course, it's mystical and vicious and hardism, but the figureheads, the main people, Moses, Muhammad, and Jesus. I mean, you have to look at all three of them and say, who's the wimp and the weakest. It's got to be Jesus. It's got to be Jesus. All right, so back to ruler of the kingdom of the air. It's all about names, but it's about their meaning. All right. um, it's all about the thought behind them. It's all about having the truth of them born of the Bible, because in the Bible everything has some kind of root or some meaning to it. Usually, every name has some kind of meaning. And I looked up and I found out this is after the fact. It's not even. It's just because I had an idea of making a name in my head, Malik, meaning king. So I said, king. He's probably pretty wise, even if he says something that's anathema or against what Green Stockwell wants to hear. And I got Green from again, I think I said this before, the neighborhood in Brooklyn, Fort Greene. And I didn't realize that was named after a Revolutionary War general, the second in command, really, to George W. Washington. A lot of people call him the second greatest general of the Revolutionary War. Um, but I just thought of money. I just thought, green money makes sense. Blue and gold mixed together makes green. And Stockwell, I just thought of, I don't want to say Stockton because that always reminds me of John Stockton. That would have threw people off. But Stockwell was something that's less common, and less used, less thought about, and it creates something that is most appealing to the reader if they can relate to the different names that are a part of the book. I just read because I didn't even think about it. I just like to hear Gambino. Okay, what can be the female version? Gambina. And what Gambino or Gambina means are small legs. Because gams are legs. And I didn't even realize the Gambino or Gambina meant leg, little leg or small legs. So I guess it fits. She's not that tall. She's pretty small. I'm gonna explore that more as more chapters come along. I've decided I'm gonna write more chapters, no matter what happens with the challenge. It's wide ranging, and many people have submitted, probably really excellent works, probably better than mine, but I don't think they're better than mine. You have to be rational, you have to be objective, and you have to say that your effort is the best effort, and then recognize that other people's works could be better than yours as well. That could just be a truth. That's just to be objective. Um, but you still have to have your own. It's like self-esteem. Nobody can take your self-esteem away. People can hurt your feelings, quote unquote. People can, call you nasty names or do things that are untoward to you. But in all, you have the power and the capacity to be complete and whole human beings. That's the fact. That's the reality. So when you have these names, and you have, again, the child's name is Ruler. I guess he's the ruler of the kingdom of the air. Am I giving away too much, or am I stating too broadly? What is the deal here? What is happening? Um, I have to look up something real quick. I'm gonna look up. So Serena is a female name meaning clear, tranquil, or serene. So that makes sense. I had to make sure it wasn't just something else. It wasn't just serene, but that's the name of the grandmother. Her name is Serena, and for so many other people, you have to realize that the names are meaningful. They hold weight. They mean something. They have a definite position within the framework of the story. Now, Professor Snide's name is more like I want to say it's kind of like ironic because he's not Snide. Because Snide means a devious or underhanded person, or derogatory or mocking in an indirect way. And informal, which is mainly what I thought it was, it means unpleasant or underhanded person or mark. So snide just happens to be that. But I'm gonna look up what Snyder. Snyder is a tailor, an old German origin, and the meaning of snide is a tailor. So I didn't put the on there, the er, or the r on snide, because I want to make it more pop. I want to pop it. I want to make it pop out more. I think Professor Snide That reminds me a little bit of Harry Potter. Isn't there somebody in Harry Potter with a similar name as that? I don't know. Could be wrong. But I wanted his name to be, a little bit different. Um, so that's what you learn, and from what I just came back I just came back from church. Believe it or not, atheists going to church. I get, you look up names, you look up Elimakai, or Elimelech. Yeah, Elimelech. Excuse me. Elimelech. He's the husband of Naomi and father of Mahlon and Shilon from Bethlehem in Judah. That's what we learned about today from the book of Ruth, which means friend, friendship, or compassionate friend. That's what Ruth means. It's derived from the Hebrew word ruit, meaning friend. I chopped that up. Forgive me, my Jewish friends. I didn't mean to chop up that name like that. Yeah, I go to church. And is Melech a hater? I don't know. You gotta tell me. You tell me, Greg S. You put 5, 10, $20 on that. I'll let you know. I will let you know in a quick second, in a flash. I will let you know. I will answer that question gladly. There's 2 people in here. Why haven't 2 people told 3 people and let the 4th person wonder? That's the question I ask myself at night before I go to bed, before I say my prayers to Satan. No. That's the other thing. It's a weird thing. When you tell somebody that you're, an atheist, they quickly say, "Oh, you worship the devil," or something like that. That's exactly what atheism is not. Atheism is about non-belief in any kind of mystical ideation. Anything that's not real, not have evidence, not true, not factual, not earth-based, not within universal constraints. That's what it means to be an atheist. And that's what, Green Stockwell and Gambina Stockwell, that's what they're without faith. They're both atheists. They have no faith. That's what it means to be a word that is usually not passed around that much is theist or believer or someone who has faith. Atheist is probably the most acidic names, sadly, that people say. See, they say you're an atheist. Like they can't fathom it. They have to do calculations in their head. Say that person's an atheist. I can't believe that. That's weird. That's in America. Around the world, it's like, "Yeah, well, we go to church, but we don't really believe that. It's not that serious." Or I don't go to church. I don't listen to. I don't read the Bible. I don't read the Torah. I don't read the Talmud. I don't read the Hadith. I don't read the Quran. That's what it is around the world. But you believe still. Some people, you have people in places like Europe and Asia that believe in different things, but they're not churchgoers. They're spiritualists usually. They're humanists, or something along those natures. That's the difference between America and the world. America, they look at you like if you say you're an atheist, like you're gonna cast a spell on them or something. So like something awful is going to happen. I try to be the most benevolent person possible, not for anyone else, but it's for somebody else. But primarily, it's for me. It's a selfish thing because I would like to see that in the world. It's what you want to see. I would like people to be able to This is the classic example. Help little ladies cross the street. That's nice. There's nothing, altruistic or selfless or unselfish about that. It's completely selfish. You're aiding somebody of worth to get to another point of destination. What's wrong with that? How does that even come close to being an altruistic act? That's why it's so sad, and that's why philosophy is so important and so crucial to our current state of affairs and our future state of affairs. Because philosophy runs the world. Everything you can think of comes from philosophy. It's fact. You can't put another thing higher than that. Philosophy runs this world. Every war, every presidential campaign, every single idea you see in art, everything you can think of is because of philosophy. Ayn Rand once said that philosophy is the soil that makes all the other sciences possible. And that's a fact. You have biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics, and they all stem from the same rooted soil, which is saying that they come up and you see them. You see the trees. You see the amazing trees. You're standing on the ground. You're walking on the ground. You're traveling in a vehicle on the ground. You're not really paying attention to the ground. You're looking at the trees. Oh well, look at that. Yeah, that's a nice tree. That looks beautiful. Look at that wonderful, that great mighty oak. Look at that. It's because of philosophy that you get the mighty oak, you get the redwood, or you get the sequoia, or whatever the case may be. It's because of the soil of philosophy. You can't have those trees without the philosophical backing, the background, to mix metaphors. Pardon me. But that's what it takes. That's what happens with different ideologies. Everything, all the religions are philosophy. They're incorrect. They're wrong. They're canned, as Ayn Rand once said. It's canned philosophy, and it's just not made on anything that's real. From Genesis to Revelation in the Bible, you have miracles. You have all kinds of different mystified and mystical illusions. Don't matter and don't mount up to anything. They don't have any kind of clear cut view of what it's supposed to show you during that idea in your mind, during you taking in. That's the weirdest, sickest part of all of this. And there was a function I was at, and there was a Christian comedian. He was pretty funny. He stole some jokes, but his set was pretty strong. I give it to him. He had a good flow, and he did keep the laughter rolling. But this is the thing: when you have Christian comedians that point out, I mean, it's the hatred. That's beautiful hatred. He points out the different aspects of human life and living on Earth and reality, mixed with mysticism. That's the difference. That's what's so you know intriguing to me. That's something that has always stuck with me ever since I was 3 years old, and I can remember. That's something that is very distressing to me in a sense. It kind of brings me down a bit, makes me a little bit depressed because people can see the little holes, and they're not willing to make them stretched and to make it to rip apart the fabric of faith and institute a whole cloth of reality and reason. That's what's so sad. That's what makes it so sad because you have people that go their whole lives, 80s, 90s, hundreds, believing in something and dying not knowing about something that's true. And that's the sick, twisted part of religion, of faith. I have to say faith more so than religion because people say, "Oh, religion's just a routine, and that's just what you do to get up. You get up and comb your hair and you brush your teeth. That's a routine. That's religious. You do that religiously." Faith. Faith is ascribing to something that doesn't have any evidence. That's what faith is. It is faith is in a sense accepting ideas in the absence of evidence. That's the true meaning of faith. But just to boil it down, it's just believing in something that isn't real. In a sense, I like the meaning has better punch, but this is a clearer view of it. It's believing in something that doesn't exist. And people know in their heart of hearts, I hate it. It sucks. 'Cause people do know that there isn't a God. They know they wouldn't be able to function. It's just like it's just like altruism. If you were a full altruist, you'd be dead. Every complete and utter altruist is either limping along, almost about to die, like Mother Teresa. If you read her diary, she wrote almost blasphemous words. She said this is she essentially she didn't say this, I'm paraphrasing. She said this sucks. This is awful. I hate this. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is just a terrible thing. I'm paraphrasing. She didn't quote I don't quote me on this, but she had a rough time dealing with the sick and the lame because the sadness was and the kind of twisted ideology that Mother Teresa had was the fact that she wanted the children, especially, to be just well enough, just just enough energy to be alive, not to promote them and make them strong and make them into athletes and make them paragons of physicality and mental acuity. No, keep them just alive. Keep them long enough just to be alive. That's the sick and twisted kind of ideology that Mother Teresa and others like her have. So that's what I want to describe in Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. I want it to be truthful. I want it to ring with great indication of what the different names are, the different places in Newark, Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, Dover, Delaware. I want it all to correspond to that. I want it to all fit into that same idea. We have to have a total understanding of what it means because words and names do matter. Individualistic lives matter. But all the different places that we could go. Oh, yeah. I just checked. 0 people are in the viewers. 0 people are in the viewership. And that's okay. I got the rebroadcast. I'm all right. But I had to see. All right, so Sunday morning is probably not the best time. Sunday morning is a little, too early. Sunday morning is not, the best way to be on this platform. And that's okay. Like I said, that's fine. I have to promote Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air because nobody else is doing it. Besides Mr. Troy Startarian. He's promoting it. I appreciate what he's done. I appreciate all of the different facts of where all this came from. I mean, I'll say it over and over and over. I'm hit the nail on the head, even though the nail's driven all the way into the wood. It just came to me and said, "This, you know this. This is part of you. This is part of your being. You've been living this for over 30 years, so you're gonna have to understand what it means." That's something that's very crucial to what I'm speaking about. That's why I wanted to make it known how we're so able to be able to do just this. If you're able to understand the fact that there's no one else that you know are going to say what it is, you have to realize that you are the only one. Like, I'm the only one promoting ruler of the kingdom of the air as I know of right now, September 10th, 2023. And this is a special day for me because this was the first day I ever I really publicly trolled myself. It was in telecommunications class. I had a permanent marker, a red permanent marker. I went up to the board and I wrote my name, Skyler. And the teacher looked and said, "Wait a minute, I think that's permanent marker." I went out to erase it and it stuck. The writing didn't dissolve, it didn't go away. And so I had to get some special cleaner to get it off. There still was like a mark during the whole semester, during the whole school year. But it was such a weird kind of way of me not being able to fully grasp reality. I was not equipped with the understanding of the truth. That's just so sad. But fortunately, I've been able to shrug off all of that. I've been able to be more conscious of what I do. I still slip, I still make mistakes, I still do the wrong thing. But what's so great about objectivism and my later philosophy that I'll present in 5 years, what's so great about them are the fact that it's not based on, oh well, you can be absolved and forgiven. It's more like, you did that thing that was wrong. Don't ever do it again, and ever. And you're not like, oh, if I do it, I can do it once and twice and 10,000 more times, and still be forgiven and everything's well and everything's great. No, you can be excommunicated. You can be turned away from philosophy. I mean, excommunicated is in a sense uh, a faith-based ideology, but I think it has more secular tones to it now. It may have had secular origins. I'm not even sure. But you have Green, Gambina, you have Professor Snod, you have Serena. Hope I'm not forgetting anybody else except Ruler, who is the ruler of the kingdom of the air. Ephesians 2:2. Look it up sometime in your Bibles. I just like the Christian mythology is amazing. It's not as profound and interesting maybe as the Greek mythology, and then what the Romans did was they appropriated and put on their own gods. But it's still amazing, still astonishing, still wonderful. Thank you for rolling with me, Greg S., the only person that stepped through his broke self. He came through and he didn't put down any dollars, but he wanted to ask a question. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Have a good, have a great Sunday, and take care.